Good evening, everyone. Just waiting for people to get joined up and organized here, and we shall get cracking. Okay, good evening and welcome, everybody. Good to have you all here. Now, as always, we have people live on the call, but then we have a lot more people who watch the recording. So that's one of the things of having an international team, of us being an international team. You know, that's the way it happens. So I want to go through things a little at a time, right? And then Sonia is going to be joining us on the panel to give us her experience of the Orlando event and also to the Millionaire Mastermind that she went to earlier this week with Declan. So Sonia has always shares so much value and information. And also she's going to be describing a particular process which she's using on Facebook so that, you know, to help with her marketing, right? So Sonia is going to be bringing all of that to us. Give me a minute. Sorry, Karen's chatting. Hi, Sonia. Hello, hello. Good to see you here. I was saying, just chatting with Karen. We've got so many good plans for the getting started, the beginners club, and you know, I'm so encouraged by that because the first thing that absolutely makes me so happy with it all is the fact that all the clubs are actually based on how the Portuguese team have grown their business to such enormous proportions in such a short while. Okay, I don't know if any others of you were on the live stream, but Sonia was there live, and they are just a remarkable bunch. Okay, they're not internet marketers, they're just normal people, usually sort of my age group. So we're talking about, you know, the slightly older majority. And they have a way which is so simple that, but so effective, so enormously effective, that you had Dave Wood and Chris Jones take notice of what they were doing. And then they ended up going down, or I don't know if they actually went down there or they actually had, you know, a series of meetings with Silvio. Wait a minute, guys. But basically what transpired was that in the Portuguese team, they use a particular method. They have a very definite series of events that happen with their new people. And one of the things that they do is these clubs, right? So that all of the team benefits, you know, and not, Because here's the thing, Sonia will tell you, as soon as you start getting successful and as soon as you start adding people to your team, you're then playing a dual role of being a mentor to your newbies. Plus, you still have to continue your marketing so that you're keeping that momentum going forward. And there comes a point where it becomes really, really stressful. Right. But that isn't the case any longer. The way the Portuguese team did it was they set up teams within their team. Okay, so then new beginners could go to one set of calls, the slightly more advanced could go to the next set, the builders could go to the next set, etc., etc. And that's exactly what they've duplicated for us within Empower Network and iPass. Okay, and it's just fantastic. And one of the other things, and Sonia and myself were discussing this yesterday actually, and the reason I look down is because I can see Sonia's face here. She's not on my keyboard. She's right there, bless her. But it's odd the way I keep looking at the camera because I know I'm talking to you, or down here at Sonia because she's there. But yeah, we were talking about this whole thing. We want to kind of model our success on them, right? And one of the reasons they are so powerfully productive is that when new people come in, they are told exactly what to do, right? They're given a strategy. There's no question of go off and find your own strategy. They're given a strategy that works for the team. And now it's worked for them for so long that what they do is they give people the strategy and then they have measurements in place. Right, so okay, so if you copy and paste this advertisement in the places that we're telling you, and if you have this landing page, this is the opt-in average that you should get, percentage. Right, and if you're not getting it, come back to us the following week, report your statistics back to us, and we will help you tweak things till they're reaching the point where they're meeting the norm. Right, and if you do that way and you're getting the right opt-ins, etc., and you're sending out the messages that we're giving you to send out, and you're inviting them to the calls we're telling you to invite them, etc., then you should have, out of that many opt-ins, you should have this many blog sales. Okay, and out of every 15 blog sales, you should get one inner circle sale. And out of every so many of that inner circle sale, or the total sales, you should get that many all-ins. So they have it down to an art. Right, and that makes me so happy because it means, there's so many of us in this team that have different streams of expertise. Right, but with all honesty, personally, I'm really, really excited to be able to bring you the kind of training that we're going to be getting from the Builders Club. Right. Now, Alex was on today's Beginners Club call, and he's just messaged us to say, Karen and Marion, I am just so grateful and so relieved you're going to be looking after my newbies. That's because he's not, they've been so clever in that they've put into each club the people that will be best for the members in that club. Right. So it's going to work amazingly across the board, for you to be able to get stuck into your own marketing, send people to the calls. And also we've got on top of that, we've got things like, our own dream team calls, etc. Okay. So yesterday I caught the recording of Tracy's call, and today we modeled our call on that. And it just went down tremendously. We felt a lot more in our groove. We know what we're doing. We have a plan. And, it's just going to work across the board, right? So I get very enthusiastic about all of this because it's exactly what we need, But before I go off at a tangent kind of thing, Sonia, can I hand over to you, please? Because Sonia's been at Orlando with Declan. It's been amazing. They've had an amazing time. And, just watching them and watching their videos has had me crying with laughter. Sonia and the Havoc in a Hammock video series. There she goes again. That was just, Sonia, I just sat here, held my tummy and laughed. It was a combination of your helpless giggling and Declan refusing to help, Declan's commentary all the way through. It was just so funny. I remember I was here very late one night, just giggling and giggling. But go on, I'm going to hand over to you, Sonia. I'll mute myself out. Okay. I think you're unmuted. I think you're muted, Sonia.
Can you hear me now? Oh, I think I muted myself. oh, what do you want me to say? Okay. I mean, I think the most important thing is, one of the things that Empire Network says and encourages us to do is to follow the 8 core commitments. And one of those 8 core commitments is to attend events. Now, I've been in the company a couple of years now, and I've wanted to attend the events, but health issues have kind of stopped me, really. But it was watching the last event. Is it Las Vegas? Is that, yeah, the Las Vegas event? And because we had the opportunity to go onto the live feed and just seeing the people there and looking at the training, and because also there were people there that I'd communicated with online, and I saw them actually get on stage as well, I had this sort of overwhelming desire to be there. And when you hear people telling stories, they say it was at this event, following this event, that X happened. And why I have faith in that is because I have been in other companies before. And the very first company that I was with, and I suppose we can say names, it was Herbalife I was in, the very first company I was with over 10 years ago. And we were always taught to attend events. And I just followed. I remember attending an event, and because what happens is the leaders there, they really do share the strategies that they're using. And I guess the difference is, okay, we have sort of mini events, don't we? We have webinars and stuff, and they're sort of like an hour, a couple of hours. And actually our Super Saturdays, the Dream Team Super Saturdays, are really trying to have a sort of a bigger time frame to actually do some, really dig down into some training. But that's 4 hours. But can you imagine being somewhere where you've got 3 whole days and just a raft of people who are having success in their business, and they're literally sharing with you exactly what they are doing,
exactly,
get the results that they get. And I remember, and this is something I remember with the first company I was with, and I'm saying it because it's relevant to why I was so keen to attend this event. I remember attending an event, and a strategy was shared with us, and the strategy was that to ask customers for 6 checks in advance, okay, for the products. And I remember thinking, oh, there's no way people are going to give us 6 pre-dated checks for their products. Now, the idea of that was, of course, if people give you 6 pre-dated checks, then there's a commitment there. There's a 6-month commitment. But I remember coming back, and I remember my heart was going when I was talking to a new customer, and I just said, right, I'm just going to say it because this is what they taught. And I just said it, and blow me if the person didn't take their checkbook out and write 6 checks. And I thought, my gosh, and I mean, that's not the only thing. And so I knew that attending the event, I would have access to information that I'd be able to come back, implement, and I know for definite that it would help my business to grow. And I mean, like anything, I mean, Declan is another member of our team, a UK person. So it was great. We've been working together online. We have met up a couple of times. And so we talked about going, and we bought our tickets at the last, during the last event. So we kind of made that commitment there. But you know what it's like? Sometimes as you're coming towards an event, you start thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And so there was an element of us sort of thinking, oh, but because I think the two of us were going, and we kind of held each other. And so for me, I don't get excited really until I step onto the plane. And Declan was a great flight partner, because we love the liftoff. absolutely love takeoff. Okay, and because we had we had a stopover, we had 2 takeoffs going and 2 takeoffs coming back. Absolutely magical. But I think the great thing for us was meeting the rest of the dream team, and we had such a welcome as the UK contingent. I mean, as we saw them, we walked towards them at the event, oh, Declan, oh, Sonia, and to get that kind of response, people that we've spoken through this kind of media, and to get that welcome was absolutely wonderful. And that's how it was for the whole 4. We were there for a week, but at the event for 4 days. So although it was a 3-day event, on the Thursday there was sort of a newcomers sort of like afternoon, and we got real value there. I think the important thing is one of the things to understand about events, especially in this industry, and when we're promoting and we're sharing a sort of lifestyle things, that taking photographs with people is so important. And you may not appreciate it so much when you're sort of first getting started. And I actually did do some research before I went off. I did some research as how can I make the best of attending events, and some people have written some blog posts, and I've spoken to some people. And so the power of the photographs with various people, especially the top earners, is that if you, in our promotion funnels, there are videos of people that are making 6-7 figures, $1 million earners. And so there's social proof if in your own marketing you can take pictures alongside these people. So because often, when I get people contacting me via email, and they're wanting to check out that I'm a real person, okay, and they want to know, is this for real? Are these testimonials for real? And so when you could, I've met this person, in person, and that makes a difference. And I think one of the highlights, Desmond Soon said to us, the best way after the event, there should be a couple of questions that we ask ourselves. And Declan and I did this exercise. And the first question is, what did you like best about the event? And the second question is, what made the most impact? And I would say what I liked best was that we had a private audience with David Wood. And so we were the only team, as far as I understand. And we went to his hotel room. It was, very luxury hotel room. He actually bought us pizzas as well. But we were in there for a good few hours. And, it was an intimate, very intimate environment with no more than 20 of us in that room. And here's a man that standing in front of us, just being very open and transparent, talking about the reasons why he started the company. I've actually videoed the whole thing. So I will share it with us, just because we're in the same team. But here's a man that's standing there just talking to us about why he started this company, why it is that, having struggled for many years himself within this industry, to make money. And he used to be homeless and living in the van is true. And how he found the code, that we talk about crack the code. He cracked the code, and so found himself online, able to make lots of money. And then building a team and trying to get what he's doing duplicated, but it wasn't happening. And I've been there myself, where I have joined companies and I've seen people making money, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, or actually not doing, because when you think about it, sometimes you realize that sometimes you're not doing things in a particular way, and just thinking, I just can't do it. And yes, it might work for you, but it can't work for me. And I actually gave up. There was a couple of years where I just stepped away from the industry and thought, it just isn't for me. I can't do the list of 100 names, chasing down family and friends. And I gave up. And the reason why I came back to it was because I'd hit 50.
You don't look it. Gosh.
Hit 50, had grandchildren, and realised that my thing was that I was worried about losing my job. And that losing my job in my 50s, I didn't really fancy having to go through the pain of going for interviews, application forms, going for interviews, and competing against what I felt were younger people. And just sort of thinking, I'm having to start from scratch again, because I'm in a job where I'm at management level, paid at a certain, but sort of thinking, if I have to start again, I would probably have to have a salary decrease. So I was quite despondent, but then realised, it's in my 50s, if I want to change my life, if I want the freedom, the time freedom, the financial freedom, I had to look back at this industry, because I've realised that is where I'd be able to actually create that for myself. Yeah. But what I needed to do was learn marketing. And that's how I came across Empower Network, because I went online, I was with another company, went online saying, there must be a way that I can promote that company online. So I thought about blogging, didn't really know what I was doing, and came across Empower. And I started really because I wanted to be a customer, because I just wanted to use the blog. But then the power of the products was such, I thought, oh gosh, because I've always wanted to be a coach. I've always had this thing about I wanted to promote education type products. And here was a company that had education type products, plus personal development products, which I absolutely love. So the event, I mean, I knew that I needed to have a day either side. So we went for a week, met so many wonderful people. There was a guy in his 80s, his other 80s and 90s. And to meet someone like that, I'm a young, when we sort of think we're too old, and you look at a guy like that he's joined this company because he's looking for freedom, So it's not too late for any of us. And he's having to learn things like the rest of us. And so it's Dave Wood, when he was talking to us, I think most of us as was listening, we had our own stories going on in our heads, because I know that I'm doing a Dave Wood, actually. I'm going off on a tangent. That's what he does, isn't he? He does moves, and then you have to come back. But the second thing, because I've just remembered, my memories come back. The second thing was what had the most impact. Chris Rushlow. Yep. He's the storyteller. His story had the biggest impact on me. And as he was I suppose it's a way he knows how to tell a story. And how he was telling his story, he was talking about attending an event and various people saying to him, that you're playing small. When are you going to kind of, there's so much more you can do.
Yeah.
And in my own head, I could feel my mind going off. And I was saying to myself, Sonia, you're talented. Sonia, you're playing really small.
Yeah.
You can do much more than you're doing. And it's those kind of experiences when you're at an event, a live event like that, that changes something inside you. Okay. And so, yes, before, when I've been making sales, I've been on the leaderboards, and come back over the last week, I haven't really, in terms of my consistency in sort of like putting my videos and stuff up, but I've still been taking action behind the scenes. But the work that I've done sort of several months ago, it's just there.
Yeah.
And so to think that, yes, you know, I made boss for the first time, you know, I made boss whilst I was in Orlando.
I know. It's amazing.
It's an event. And whilst I was in Orlando, well, it's very significant because my mum, who died a few years ago, it was her birthday whilst I was in Orlando. And she'd always said to me, just before she died, she wanted me to set up a blog for her because she wanted to blog. So there was so much emotional stuff going for me in terms of I'm with this company,
Wow.
my mum, and what she wanted. And I sort of think, actually, I can be that message for her. And to make boss for the very first time. And then we've got the new comp plan started from yesterday. And so this is day 2. And I've already made 4 sales. I'm 1 sale away from being boss.
Already.
Is there something magical about attending the event?
Yeah, I do agree, Sonia. You know, this is the whole thing. You were talking about that business of playing small. Now, you know, yes, because of health reasons and things, again, you know, it's been really frustrating for me because I've not been able to go there. But I do make sure that I'm on the live stream. And I like blank out my entire, that whole period is like, don't talk to me, don't come near me, don't do anything. I'm going to be here. And I tell you, my hips were hurting, my knees were hurting because I was sat watching the whole thing. But, you know, it wasn't an effort because the information they were sharing, and like you're saying, actually seeing these people. And what I loved specifically about it was the interaction between the leaders.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in a company where people didn't mind saying the wrong thing about you. It was like dog eat dog world, you know? And I've been in that kind of atmosphere and I hated it, right? And here it's like one big family, you know, and that's the thing that came across so clearly. It comes across every single time, you know, you see even the big guys like Aaron Rashkin and Tracy and all of that. They love each other. They really get along. And to know that they've got the control of the direction of the company, it's just so good, you know, to know that they're thinking, all of them, David Wood as well, bless them, you know, they're all thinking about how to improve everything for the new person. I absolutely love that bit. And you're talking about Chris Rushlow. When he said that, that was confirmation for me because I'd already been thinking that. You know, I'd already beaten myself up. I'd already come to the point of, what are you doing, Marion? You know, for goodness sake, woman. And, you know, my brother used to say to me, either drive it or park it, Marion. That was always his thing, you know, because I'd sort of, you know, I think about things and weigh things up, and he'd sort of come up behind me, big brother, 10 years older. He'd kind of whack me across the back of the head and he'd go, either drive it or park it, you know? I said, no, okay. So that kind of came back to me. And then to hear Chris Rushlow talk about it, it was confirmation for me. And honestly, if I can come off the live stream and feel as rejuvenated as I did, going to an event, I honestly don't know what it's going to do for me. You know, it's going to sort of explode completely. But I love it. And I'm so grateful you brought that up, Sonia, because the next event, everybody listening to this, I really want you all to go off and buy your event tickets, right? There's not going to be a physical event at the end of January. At the end of January, we're going to have a live stream. Okay, now there is a competition, so go off and read the details of that competition. All golds, platinums, and diamonds will get to go for free, right? So take those out of the equation. The next 50 will also get to go and be treated like VIPs. Okay, guys, doesn't matter where you are now, there's absolutely no reason why we can't be among that crowd. All right. Especially if you look at the image I posted from Alex Zubarev. Did I post that into our team? I'm not sure now, but I came across, I'll come to that shortly, but yeah, so be sure to get your live event, live stream thing. It's, doesn't cost that much. Be absolutely sure to get it. You don't want to miss it. Honestly, I sent out an email the other day that said, market as though your life depends on it, because quite honestly, it does. It's a simple fact. Your life depends on this. Otherwise, you won't be here trying to do what you're doing. So accept that and, let's pick up the pace and go for it, right? Everything is in place, especially now with a new compensation plan and everything else. It's all slightly nuts, to be honest. And that is something I want to talk about as well. We are all very, very excited about the new compensation plan and where the uni line, and there are people in this team who are sort of messaging me every 10 minutes and like, so where am I in the uni line, etc., etc. It is important, but at the end of the day, it isn't important. And let me tell you this. Why am I saying this? It's hugely important, right? And I'm glad we've got ourselves positioned. But at the end of the day, when we started this business, we weren't thinking of a uni-line plan, right? We were going to depend on our own results. Okay, so where we are in the uni-line is only going to be better than what we'd settled for, than what we committed for, right? So don't give me any of that. And I know I'm coming across slightly stroppy here. It's just because one or two people have said to me, well, I'm not going to make a decision till I know where I am. It's like, excuse me, but here's the magic thing, right? And this is why we've got to look at the positives, because honestly, the positives so far outweigh anything else that you will be deceiving yourself and doing yourself a big disservice if you don't look at the true situation. And what is the true situation? So here is this long line, one single long line, right? One for every product, right? Even if you're at the very bottom, if you just come in today, for the newest person who comes in today and is right at the bottom of the line, right? Goodness me, if I'd come into this business at that point, I would be like, oh my goodness, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, because guess what? All those sales from all the way up there, go as far up as you want to, all those sales have nowhere else to go but below you. Isn't that mildly ridiculous? I'm just completely blown away by it. And the fact that one person said to me, well, no, I'll look to see where I am before I commit to anything else, told me very clearly that that person wasn't thinking in these terms. And that is something that is going to do that particular person out of something that could be so advantageous in their lives that it makes me feel sad that they don't get it. Okay, so be very careful about how you look at things. All right, it's so easy to look at things from, oh no, I want to be right up at number 10 kind of thing, Look for the good in where you are and you will find it. So that is something that I want to say. We are in a fantastic spot. However, I don't know about you, Sonia, but Declan, myself, and some of the others have certainly been in programs before where they talk about, okay, you bring in this many and they bring in this many and they bring in this many, and all of a sudden you're going to be a millionaire overnight. What happened with that one was, or the 2 or 3 times we tried it, was people would bring in just any old body. Auntie Doris who didn't even know anything about the program. They'd sign her up as one of their 5. And then they'd go off and get somebody else and sign them up as one of their 5. Right. And I was guilty of the same thing because I didn't quite get it. Right. Because what happens is you end up with all these, we used to call them in the end, we gave them a nickname, and we used to call them ducks and chairs, because that's about as much use as they were in building the business, right? And we'd say, oh no, I've got a whole row of ducks and chairs below me, which meant really what they were doing is they were blocking our progress. Right. Whereas with this particular model, they've thought of all of that. And yes, you've got, you will benefit from all the people under you, etc., etc. However, you won't benefit a penny from them if you yourself are not a producer. Okay. So there's a lot of emphasis on the producer bonuses. Okay, so what I want you all to do, and Tracy said this as well, and I must say, I've just, completely calmed down and got very determined after listening to Tracy's, because as usual, she really clarified everything. Right. The one thing that we need to be with 2 things we need to be focusing on, right? And for us leaders, 3 things. Okay. The first thing, traffic. We need to be generating traffic. Okay. The next thing, we need to get ourselves up to the boss level. Because in addition to the commission that we get on direct sales that we make, becoming a boss entitles us to more commissions. Okay? And then the next thing that the ones who become boss need to be doing, they need to be helping their people become bosses themselves. All right. So this week, I would say this week, maybe, throughout the month, really, I'm setting my intention that by the middle of this month, I will be boss. Okay. Now, my primary objective after that is going to be to create bosses in the team. Okay, with Sonia, I don't have to worry. She's going off and doing it herself, bless her. And she'll be boss many times over by the end of the week, But for other members in the team, I want to be able to do that. Now, here's the thing. And again, I want to be very emphatic about this, right? On today's new beginners call, I made it very clear to new beginners that they have to position themselves correctly in order to achieve the goal that they want to be achieving, or attain the goal they want to attain, right? And what I said to them was, let's say you want to be a doctor, okay? You want to, get the income that a doctor gets. You want to be on that level of income kind of thing. Very doable here with the internet marketing industry. Okay, so if you go off to do that, right? How are you going to do that? Right? So the doctors have, particular books, particular tools that they need, etc. They have to attend certain lectures and all of that kind of thing, and they have to pay for all of that. Okay. Now, if you want to be a 6-figure income builder, then you really do need to be positioning yourself to take advantage of the trainings at the 6-Figure Builders Club, which Alex is starting this Thursday. We had, 62 sign-ups today. 62 new joiners in one day, right? Because of the traffic and the training and the method, the strategies that their team employs. Okay, go to the leaderboards and look out for the top leaderboards. They're literally hogging all the top spots. Team consistency, team consistency. Everything you look at is team consistency. Why? They've cracked the code. Okay, now rather than just keeping it for their team like it has been up until now, it's going to be shared across the board. And I absolutely love that aspect of it. Okay, so make sure you're at that level, because then you will have what it takes in order to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Really, really important. Okay, so that's the thing there. Now, what else do I want to... Sonia, anything else you want to add to that while I'm checking my notes here? It's okay. Go ahead, go ahead.
I think the analogy about doctor, so we had an exercise with one of our mentors whilst we were at the event, and he talked about, he was talking about, say somebody's been doing it for like 3-4 years and feeling that actually they're not getting the results they want. And if the income goal that they have is $100,000, he gave the example of, well, okay, as you've done, the GP, earns around $100,000, but how long do they have to go and study for? Mm-hmm. And so if you've been in doing the business for 3-4 years, you've actually not done your time. And I think the interesting thing for me as I'm speaking to people, and I've said this before, is that people will get started, and you're clear to say this is you're going to learn how to make money online using this strategy, and somebody will be in 2 or 3 weeks, say, and they'll say, I'm not earning any money, and you sort of think, well, what have you done? Because you wouldn't, if you started a new job, you couldn't just turn up and sit down and do nothing for 3 or 4 weeks and get a paycheck, whether it's weekly or monthly. So if you get, I get paid monthly. I couldn't turn up at work and just sit there for 4 weeks and actually not do any work and expect to get paid.
Exactly.
So there is this kind of job mentality where, but I think some people can go into work and do very minimal and get a paycheck. And obviously, it's this thing about value. When you have a business, the whole purpose of a business is that you are providing solutions for people. You are helping people. And so if you're sort of thinking, I'm just want to make money without doing anything, without giving any value, and I have to say, I've been talking to some of my new team members, and I have to sort of I give a shout out to Mohammed, actually, because some people get it really quickly, and it's just looking at some of the stuff that he's creating, really understands that I have to give value to people, and that actually it's not going to happen overnight. Already in that mindset, and my various of my team members. So I mentioned Mohammed, Eunice. I mentioned I'm really impressed with her because she's literally starting from nothing and implementing. And I taught her the Craigslist strategy a couple of weeks ago now, and in her first week she had around 7 leads. Ever. So fantastic. She's got 7 leads.
Yes, exactly.
And she's learned the strategy. I just did one coaching session with her, and she's been putting her ads out each day. Okay. And she's been consistent, and she's also the person that's done the videos as well. And it's growing. And as I talk, I say to her, look, you are so much ahead. You might not think that you know that much, but you're so much ahead of other people. And she's actually learning at the moment some Facebook strategies that I've learned, so I'm just passing that on. And Jessica is another person who's got a wonderful blog as well. Mohammed's got a new blog, which is wonderful. Her blog is definitely her. It's an essence of her.
Yes.
And you can see that she will attract a certain type of person. You were saying today that you was going to do something about targeting, because I think, if anything, with people that are starting, especially when you're blogging and knowing how to talk to people how to find the people that will be interested and resonate with you, you need to understand your target market. So
absolutely,
I'm going to say something about that. Yeah, I think you've already. You know how to do that. So
yes, I do. That and conversions kind of thing, it really are my key. Thank you for that, Sonia. And you're absolutely right. We have some amazing people in this team, and it just sort of, gives me energy to see the kind of people. And I was saying to Sonia about young Candace, Right. I don't know if she's here today. I know it's been her birthday, so she's being, spoiled rotten, bless her heart. But Candace suddenly, I don't know what triggered it with her, but she had this conversation with her dad, who owns his own business, etc., and he has a business blog. But during a conversation with him, she realized that his blog wasn't getting any traffic. Nobody knew about him. Absolutely nobody knew about him. And he offers such a good service and all that kind of thing. So all of this started working in her mind. She went and checked out the blog, etc. And to cut a very long story short, she'll tell you all about it one day, because that girl is now on fire, right? Because what she has decided to do, and she's talked with her dad about this and all of that, she is building her blog to act, well, she's building a blog for him, right? With all the information and all the tactics that she has learned from Empower Network, all the social media strategies and tips and techniques and all of that, which she's an absolute ace at things like video, and she's just a natural, bless her little heart, and she's incorporating all her knowledge and all of that into building this blog for her dad. And that's then given her an idea of her niche market. She's getting so much joy out of doing that for his small business. She's now going to be targeting small businesses and helping them with their, and see, this is how this whole industry can help so many things. And where it takes your life is entirely up to you, but basically it gives you the keys to be able to go off and unlock doors that you wouldn't have been able to before this. And that's the exciting thing. Now, Adrian's giving Adrian ideas as well, I think. Let me have a look. Oh, okay. Adrian, don't know why, my love, because everybody else is on here. But okay, sorry. So going to this whole thing about writing blogs and everything else, right? Here's why I find it so easy. Very early on in my career, my online career, that is, I went and got involved with a company called Site Build It. All right. I don't know if they're still around or not, but it was called Site Build It. And basically, he taught about building a website, not a blog. At that time, blogs weren't the in thing. It was a website, right? And this guy, Ken Evoy was his name. He taught about content is king. Okay. And what he always emphasized was, determine who your target audience is. Who are you talking to? Who are you giving this message to? Because here's the thing, right? If you just go out there and you say, okay, so, I can help you learn how to make money online, come and join me. People will read it, they might be interested, but they will walk away. Okay, why? Because you haven't spoken directly to them. Right. Now, me, very early on, I decided that my target market was going to be mature professionals. Why? Because that's me, right? I have a professional background. I'm mature. Okay, simple as that, really. And why that, why that kind of gelled with me was because I know their pain. Right? Like when Sonia's talking about, coming up to 50, realizing that they can replace you tomorrow with two little 16-year-olds that they can pay minimum wages to. And in the meanwhile, they've got somebody who's really going to be a lot less expensive than you, who has gained year after year after year of bonuses and, increments in pay and all that kind of thing. So I knew that, right? I knew about the fact of not having, a pension worth talking about. I knew that I didn't want to land up in some supermarket or something of that sort, working at something that I was going to struggle to do, because in my case, I can't even reach the shelves, never mind anything else. So I knew the pain that that people like me would be facing, right? So when I market, I am marketing directly to the mature professional, Right. Now, how does that help me? That helps me because when I'm blogging, I know what I'm going to say in advance. I know what's going to work. Right. The images that I put up, the videos that I use, the things that I say, everything is geared to my target market. Okay, I will say things like, and I know that computer technology is not your thing. We weren't born with it, were we? See, I'm straight away building that bond because it is out of that relationship that people will come talk with you. Okay, so it's very, very important that you work out who your target market is. Because even in my follow-up, that's the other thing I'll say to you. I haven't been doing any marketing recently, right? Because there's been so much change going on. And any of you that will know, my medical history recently, before this, I could adapt to change, no problem at all. Now I can adapt to change and I do adapt to change, but sometimes I'm like, uh-oh, I just want to kind of sit back calmly, wait till things are done and then get on. Not a good thing, and I will fight to get over that. But that's one of the reasons recently, and also because of all the training we've been involved in things like that. And because I knew things were going to change so much, I wasn't quite aware of what to say. Right, so I got myself in a real tangle there. So I literally haven't marketed now since the last lot of paid marketing that I did, maybe about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago now. Right. So out of that paid marketing, I got 5 sales and I got, I think, about 90 odd leads. Right. But because I'm so consistent with my broadcast messages, and because I am so focused on my target market, right, I know exactly what I'm saying. I write blogs, I then send them to that particular blog, etc. I made boss without doing any marketing, right, simply because my conversions are very high because I know who I'm talking with. Okay, so what you need to do is get a very, very clear picture of who it is you are selling to. All right. Now, what I would recommend is make your target market yourself, other people like you. Simple as that. Or if you have a particular heart for a particular segment of society, then make it all about them. But be specific, drill down. Okay. And then what happens is when you get somebody, like we've got one lady who's currently in the middle of 500 different things, but her heart is, and that's why I was talking about that. She works with young people in her city, right? And her heart breaks because there's so many young men in particular who feel so worthless and who feel so like life has no meaning for them because they've had criminal pasts. Okay, either through taking drugs or some kind of petty offenses or major offenses or whatever, and that's literally sealed them out of the job market. Okay, and when she saw this, she said, Marion, this will be ideal. They don't have to go for interviews and divulge their criminal record, kind of thing. These guys are desperate to turn their lives around, but they keep being driven back to their old ways as being the only way they can provide for their families. Now, I wouldn't know what in the world to say to a drug dealer or an ex-convict or something of that sort. I wouldn't know where to begin. Right. Would I target them? No. Would I help them? Oh my goodness, I would go to the ends of the earth to make sure that they know what they're doing and help them and all that kind of thing. Right. But what you want to do is to bring in the person that you feel that you resonate with. Okay, so that's one of the things you've got to do. Sit down, just quietly, sit down by yourself and work out. And also the other thing that I will say to you is, there might be certain markets that you think, okay, I'd love to get involved with that particular segment of people. But then be careful, is that segment of people, are they business minded? You know, there's no point in you saying, I want to attract all the young people who go to raves. I have nothing against young people who go to raves, but will they buckle down to the business and build the business? And, will they have the finances to pay for the business and that kind of thing? Okay, so take all of that into account, right? I went for the mature professional because I know their pain. I faced it, but I also know that they've learned life skills, right? And once they know how to transfer that online, they fly with it. Why? Because they are focused and they just, get going really. All right. So that's the really important thing, because that will have a really big knock-on effect into your broadcasting and your messaging and how you talk to them and how you come across and everything else. All right. So I hope that that helps you. One more thing I want to say, and that's to all our newbies who are listening to this. Actually, two more things, if you don't mind, and then we will end, because we're coming to the top of the hour now. And Sonia, if you have anything else to add, please feel free to do so. The two things I would like to add is, number one, plug yourself into everything that the Dream Team has to offer. Okay, you will get some tremendous value from Tracy and in that group, and that kind of thing. Okay, Sonia was going to be showing us one of the things, the Facebook strategy that she's working, which she learned from Desmond and Tony in there. So I won't keep very much longer. The only one other thing I want to say to you is, when you are online, okay, in your blogs, on your interaction in Facebook and everything else, be sure that you are projecting a professional image. Okay, I have got two Facebook pages, two Facebook profiles, right? One that I keep, for family and friends that are not involved with my business, and another one that I keep purely for everybody who's involved with my business, right? Now, if you find my family and friends profile, and if you'll get in there, you will see that I'm actually no different at all to the way I portray myself on my business profile. Okay, and the reason that is so important is people will check you out online, right? And I see, people kind of moaning and griping and being negative and getting into fights on Facebook and all that kind of thing. And that is so not attractive. Okay, you want to be that person where people look at you and think, gosh, there's something about that man, something about that woman, Sonia's smile, she just brightens up my entire day, I look at that video and I go, oh, bless, I feel so much better now, and that's the kind of thing you want to have. You want to be that person where people will look at you and think, wow, it's that person, I recognize him or I recognize her. All right, and be recognized for the right reasons. Yeah, and that's me over and out for today. Timings. We're going to have to change our team timings this particular meeting, because from next week onwards, the beginners club is at this time. Okay, because we wanted more of our UK people to be able to attend, and also more of our US people, etc., will be able to attend it. So it's been moved to this time. So now all Empower Network Club timings are all at the same times. So be sure to pop that down in your diary, and we'll think about it, and I'll send you out an email once I've consulted with the others as to timings and days and that kind of thing. Okay, Sonia, I'm going to mute myself out and hand over to you.
Okay, you can hear me now. Just to add to you telling us about targeting, I have got something that people might want to use. I created. I'm just going to share screen if I can. So let's hope it works. Okay, can you see my screen? Can't see you at the moment, so I don't know. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Sonia. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I created a sort of a sort of worksheet. It's called my customer avatar template. So I'm quite happy to share this with people, and I've kind of used it to create. I used it to create a customer avatar for myself. So I just wondered if somebody wanted a sort of template, I could share this with people.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I'll people kind of opt into this. So I'll find the actual download and just put the file in our Skype chat. Okay. But
Thank you.
It might just help people to sort of like create their own one. So
yeah.
So I may be updating it, but it's actually, well, I kind of did a bit of research and cobbled some things together just to help myself, and I thought it might help other people as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. I was just sharing something on that as a strategy. If the Super Saturdays have been absolutely excellent.
Yes.
In people sharing some real strategies, and also going to the event, I've had a sort of another layer. And what I would like to do, obviously, is if we do get together, is to sort of share stuff as we go along, because one of the things that I know is that we're all different, and when it comes, there's so many different ways to market. It's just about finding something that really resonates with you, and then just sticking to it and doing it. And for me, the reason why I've been getting the results that I'm getting at the moment is primarily because back in February this year, I realized that I needed to stick with find a strategy that I could learn, and then just stick with that one strategy. Day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. And I've done that. They say to sort of stick with a strategy until you kind of know it really well before you go on to another one. But you kind of do the other things peripherally. So, obviously mine is YouTube review videos, and I do a lot of videos. I've got tons of videos that I haven't even put up yet.
Wow.
And so what I wanted to say is that going off to an event like I did in Orlando, why it's another reason why it's very powerful for you, is that you get to hear the different strategies that people are doing. I mean, somebody was talking about Instagram. Sounds like a really good strategy for people to be getting into. Really, ways of actually getting lots and lots of leads. And so somebody shared their Instagram. Anna Subarev shared the Pinterest, which I thought was great. Michelle Schaefer shared with us her Twitter strategy, which I thought was great. Lawrence Tam shared SlideShare, and I've just been looking at SlideShare myself, which was great.
Yes.
Mike Hobbs shared his YouTube strategy. And so I've picked up a couple of things that I'm going to add to mine as well. And so I think the really important thing is that you do need to find a strategy. And the great thing about the Dream Team is that there are people in here doing different things. And I'm just going to get the page up. Once you've joined the team, and Desmond Soon, who's a great mentor in that team,
he is, yes.
He's literally saying what he's created. I'm just scrolling down. Can you still see what I'm sharing with you?
Yeah, I can.
Right. So this is everybody should be coming to this particular post and posting their numbers. Okay, and I can see Eunice in there. Yay!
Oh, good girl.
And I know that Mohammed is as well, because what they have been doing is that they've been analyzing the numbers. Okay, so what they're doing is they're going through and they're taking checking the numbers, and what they've noticed is that those of us that are getting a certain number of leads per day are getting sales. And so what Desmond says, look at see what people are doing, and then actually go to them and say, what are you doing? Can you share it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm very happy to share what I'm doing. These other people are very happy to share what they're doing. And so just we're in as a result, and I think Declan and I, because we've been very consistent on here, they've put us into a leaders group. So here this is called the Dream Team New Leaders Guild. And they've just added somebody this week. They've added Stephen this week because he's been consistent on here. Yeah. And the thing about being in this group is that you get to hear things first. So just like you, Marion, you kind of in your position, you get to hear stuff. We get to hear stuff in here. So and the thing is to ask for help. So I had a situation, and I'm going to share it with you. I've been joining some groups. So I joined a group called the Law of Attraction. I'm saying that people need to increase their friends, but I joined a group called the Law of Attraction. And there's a guy, I'm just going to see if I can find him. Right, this guy here. Now, he reached out to me a few weeks ago. Okay. And so he sent me a friend request, and he, and I sort of said, hi, Manpreet, just received a friend request from you. And I always say, just curious, how did you find me? Yeah, that's what I do. And he says through the Law of Attraction, because I joined that group, Law of Attraction. And then I went off to Orlando, and he was trying to connect with me and stuff, but it was a bit difficult. Yes. And then came back, and I thought, I was sitting doing something else. The chat came up, and I thought, I'll just do a little bit of liaison with you. I've just said I'm having a great time in Orlando. So the bit I want to take you to is, he said here, what do you do here? And I thought, okay. So I went into the chat, and I just posted in there. I said, just had somebody ask me in the chat, what do you do? I'm just curious as to knowing what responses other people have. And then somebody said, Tracy has a script. And so they posted the script in here, and I've posted it on our Skype. Right, okay. Yeah, that's the one that I posted on our Skype. I'll just scroll up for it. Can you still see my screen? I've just swapped it around. So I'm just going to scroll up. Find it. Can't find it at the moment. Actually, it's on my page. It's on my page, so I'll do it on my page. So, because this is what I'm going to share with you, what I've actually got on my page. So they put this script in there, and I thought, okay. So what do you do when I meet new people and they ask the inevitable question of what do you do? I say this. So I show people a way how they can make money online. So that's what I said. So I said, great. I've said here, I show people a way how they can make money online. So it's about copy and paste. Yeah. I'm just copying. And then he said, great, can you help me? I thought, okay. And then I thought, what am I supposed to say next? So I went to the script, and it says, great. If I sent you a link to our online video, would you watch it? So that's what I put in here. I put, great. So I just copied it. Yeah. And then he asked a few questions, and I just said, because I'm not giving any information, they've got to keep them curious. Yeah. And I just said, the online video will give you the information. And he says, okay, send it to me, which I did. And he opted in. There you go. So then I went on to Desmond. So what I do is look at what other leaders are doing. Okay. So I happened to go on to Desmond Soon's page. I'm not going to change things. And he had posted, because he said he's going to post it on his page. So he posted it on his page. And I thought, and then Tony Roberts, who's another Dream Team member, she posted it on her page as well, the exact thing. And I thought, I'm going to do that.
Hmm.
So I grabbed their image. This is the image that they've got on theirs. I grabbed it. I copied and pasted it in here, exactly, word for word. And, just once you type your name in, it automatically makes it clickable.
Yeah.
I went to my blog and created a subdomain for the income disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And so since posting it last night, okay,
Oh, wow.
look, this person, so I'd actually been talking with this person, okay, and kind of not getting very far, but as soon as I posted, because people are watching you, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was 2:10 a.m. And then this person is somebody that I actually know who lives just down the
Right.
road from me.
Wow.
Tell us about it. And then this person says, I'm ready to learn more. So this person and this person, this person, this person. So I've had 3 leads.
Yeah.
Since yesterday, since sharing, following the script, and then just stick. So look, I see what other people are doing and I copy. Okay.
That's really smart. Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
I've got 3 leads from that. But that's just something I wanted to share.
Absolutely brilliant. I probably do really well with this, Sonia, because it's just hilarious. I can't go on to Facebook without, and I'm sure you get it as well, without getting chatted up, all the time. I get so tired about it. It's like, oh my goodness, one more person tells me I have a cute face, I'm going to hit him. Really. So it's gone to that point. You're muted.
Just to say, Marion, that
Yeah.
actually there was another person that I sent the link to yesterday,
Yeah.
because he contacted and he said, am I single or married? And I just responded by saying, I use Facebook for platonic or business.
Mm-mm.
And then he said, well, what's your business? And I said, and I just copied the script.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do, Sonia.
If I share the video with you, would you watch it? And he said yes. And I sent the
There
video.
you go. Honestly, you have shown me, I've been thinking, you should see my blocked list, right? I must have like 100 names in it. And now looking at your script, I'm thinking, hang on, Marion, unblock them all and message them all. Get them all active again, and because that's the kind of thing that works. Whereas me, I've been kind of, that's a brilliant strategy and so simple. You just kind of use it. Brilliant. Absolutely. Thank you, Sonia. Really appreciate that. I don't know if there are, I can't see any comments here, but let's go back and see any in the past. Okay. Yeah, fine. That's done there. Press play sign on Marion's face. Peter's giving Adrian instructions here. They're having fun, the two of them. Okay, so guys, let's recap quickly before we finish, right? Don't get psyched out by any of the confusion going on with the comp plan. And I'll tell you what makes me laugh in a good way, because it's absolutely hilarious. I've got new people contacting me saying, I don't understand the comp plan at all. You know what? In the leaders' room, there's poor Mike Hobbs running himself ragged, explaining the comp plan to all the leaders. Okay, so it's something that's so new and so massive and so powerful that expect to be confused by it. And, there are still things in the back office that aren't working properly. Some of the reporting isn't correct, etc., because they've got a massive job that they are unraveling, okay, or unrolling rather, rolling out. Okay, so give them a whole week, give them a couple of weeks to settle themselves in, and we'll be off and running after that. Your aim is to make boss this month. Okay, you've got 5 whole days you've got 30 whole days to make 5 sales. And some of you might be sitting there thinking, hang on, I haven't made one single sale yet. That's fine. That's in the past now. Okay, we can see people doing it. There's going to be a method for us to do it. So be sure that you are qualified for the Builders Club, and let's get cracking, guys. Okay, this is serious now. because it's so much fun. You know, it's so much fun. So I'm going to be there. Keep your Wednesday nights free. So we'll jump on there. Alex Zubarev is hilarious when he's training. So is Mike Martin. And, you know, two of the nicest guys possible. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. Right. All righty. Take care, everybody. I'll get this recording out to you all as soon as possible. Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate you. Where's our Declan, bless him?
He may well be working, so he may have been working
okay.
a long shift today. So
all right.
He's had a very busy few days.
Okay. Absolutely. We'll catch up with him. He's such a good soul, I tell you. All right. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Night-night now.
Bye.
See you, Sonia. Bye.